Welcome to another day in the Matrix. This is Red Pill episode number 31. I hope all of you are having a beautiful weekend so far. And to start this off, we're just going to go over some important updates. First of all, welcome to all the new wolves who've joined the Patreon recently. I'm glad you have joined our community. Appreciate you. For anyone who needs Discord access as part of the Mastermind community membership, go ahead and message me directly on Patreon. Do not comment your Discord username in these posts or email me. I will be able to get you onboarded into our Discord just through messaging me directly on Patreon. And I just wanted to go over a couple things. Of course, I do have my new website available. It is watersabovecrypto.com. This will be my only website that I use. Big reason for pushing forward with this was because of the growth of my channel and a lot of people scamming. So of course, as your channel grows, as you become more popular, you have to deal with more people essentially biting off your work. And we've had some issues with that lately. Even people, I found out that there was a unstoppable domains, watersabove.crypto, that has been purchased by somebody. They're making new Telegram groups, Discord channels, pretty much everything, even as far as a Patreon account copying to be me, and Patreon accounts that are utilizing my work and then also reposting them, copying to be me. So watersabovecrypto.com is the way to go moving forward. And I also have my email. You guys all know that. I put it in the description box of all my videos. I will be changing that email soon, just to kind of push forward with utilizing my website more. But anyways, just to go over a couple updates, my new advanced trading course is now live, good to go for anyone. If you've purchased my Mastermind course in the past, you will qualify for a discount on this advanced trading course. The reason I'm starting off with this today is because a lot of people have been asking me the same questions that I've actually addressed in prior videos and even posts. So I'm going to give everyone a quick rundown. So if you don't have my Mastermind course, it is a beginner/intermediate course, essentially teaching people investment thesis and how to actually be able to do technical analysis or reading the charts using my strategies, and then eventually later in the course combining Gematria Numerology and Astrology along with your investment thesis to be able to determine what coins are important or not, and also some of the price targets. Anyone who has my Mastermind course or is part of this Patreon group, you also have access to my Gematria Masterclass, which is a 5-episode 4 decodes going over Gematria decodes on each individual projects, showing how I decode so that you could get price targets and you could be able to learn how to do this code on your own cryptos that you hold. So those 4 decodes were Zinfin Network, Digibyte, VeChain, and Hedera Hashgraph. And if you own Basic Attention Token or Algorand, you could go ahead and use everything that was in those videos and decode for yourself. So with this Mastermind course, you're going to be able to learn all of that stuff. It's essentially getting newer investors who are ready to start expanding their knowledge in crypto, getting them started on the right foot, and immediately getting access to information that shows you what's really going on in this market, which is that it is ran by Gematria Numerology and Astrology. The news doesn't do anything. The SEC doesn't do anything. The color underwear Gary Gensler is wearing doesn't do anything. All of that is nonsense. So that is what the Mastermind course is for. It is for beginners into intermediate. And honestly, by the end of that course, you're going to be able to be a successful trader anyways, in regards to spot trading, aka investing, meaning knowing when to buy projects when they're an opportunity, and then knowing when to de-risk a project when everyone's become greedy. And today's Red Pill episode is going to be good because at the end of it, I'm going to go over 2 projects that we're seeing massive FOMO in. And on top of that, we've been seeing even people in my community talk about them quite a bit. And I really want to, develop a culture here where we're focused on opportunities. And when something's going up, that's what everyone wants to talk about. And the way that I feel is when something's going up, that's when I stop giving a shit about it. I honestly do not care when I see a 40% green candle in a single day on a crypto. I just don't. I really don't. And I think that people need to stop getting so exuberant and excited about some of that stuff because it's really preventing them from becoming an investor. An investor isn't excited about stuff when it's just mooning on a single day, because that is typically manipulation, and it's all about how you're playing that manipulation. So if you're in a project and for some reason in the next 5 days it goes up 100%, 200%, whatever, what are you going to do about it? It's one thing to make moves and take action in a market, and it's another thing to sit around and think that you missed the train. So this is something that we need to work on, and I believe my mastermind course thoroughly breaks down that from a psychological perspective and also a technical perspective. That's why this course is so important. So by getting complete of this course, perhaps like about 50%, meaning finishing this course halfway, you will be able to be competent for this advanced trading course. So the advanced trading course is more of an intermediate/advanced level. I do not go over all those basics that have to deal with investing. It is bypassing that, and it is essentially a part 2 to my mastermind course. So mastermind course is part 1, advanced trading course is part 2. And this is where you can learn my strategies for trading. So how to actively trade this market, and it does go over leverage trading, but I spend a lot of time on philosophy and risk management and creating checklists and essentially being more focused on conservative trades, long-term swing trades, and having something that's not super stressful. So the problem with a lot of trading in this market is it's extremely stressful, extremely anxiety driven, because people are using lots of leverage and they're playing with very large portions of their portfolio, and they're not thinking about this as a long-term life skill. And that's what separates a professional trader from a gambler. So the professional trader is trying to hit home runs, and they will be patient and waiting for the perfect pitch. So those of you that aren't like from America or not really too fond of baseball, it doesn't really matter. My point being is that patience gets rewarded when you're actually taking the time between your thesis of how you're going to set up your trade to how you execute your trade, and then once you execute your trade, how you're going to manage that trade. So this is a thing that a lot of investors or a lot of traders make mistakes on. They essentially see a coin pumping, then they go long with a lot of leverage. They typically enter when the price is overheated, and then it starts pulling back on them, and then they panic sell for a loss, and they rinse repeat that over and over and over again. And this course is to teach people how to not get caught up in that tsunami of basically consistently losing. Or there's another side to this course that I believe is very powerful, which is the type of person who has had successful trades. Maybe you win 5 trades straight, but then on that 6th trade, you feel like you're on a hot streak like a gambler would, and then you start to go all in. And this is when you lose it all. So this is very philosophical. It's very comprehensive. I believe it's about 37, 38 videos so far. I might add a little bit more material to it as the market kind of finalizes into this next bear trap that we're sort of seeing. But anywho, the point of what I'm saying here is that once you get through the mastermind course about 50%, you'll be ready to move on to the advanced trading course. And anyone who purchased my mastermind course in the past will get a $50 discount on the advanced trading course. So this is $250, but it gets reduced down to $200 for anyone who is in the mastermind course. Also, tomorrow, the new Patreon membership Trading Wolves will be going live. And a lot of people have been asking me, about it being sold out, but it's not actually sold out. It's just I am locking it down until tomorrow for availability. So essentially tomorrow on November 1st, it will go live, and that's when the new Patreon billing cycle starts, and then I'll be able to onboard people that way. So don't contact me via email or comment or any of that, because Trading Wolves is sold out. It's not sold out. It's just not going to be live until November 1st. Okay. And it is an upgrade. So what that means is if you are in the Mastermind community membership, when you upgrade to the Trading Wolves, you'll have access to all of the things in the Mastermind community. You'll have the Red Pill episodes, all my exclusive Patreon posts, Discord access, all of that. What you'll be getting on top of that is access to a another category within Discord. So Discord has the server itself, which is called Waters Above. And then what everyone is in right now is a category called Mastermind Community. And that's what's giving you access to all of those Discord text channels. What's going to be added is a new category called Trading Wolves, and that'll have its own private text channels. And those text channels are solely for discussion of trading. There's no other, there will be nothing else that we speak about there. So this is for dedicated traders who are trying to work together as a community to become traders, to actually have a lifelong skill. Another thing about this is it is not for trading callouts. I do not want people joining so they're just basically hopping on board of whatever I'm doing. That's not how investing works. We all have different risk profiles, okay? So if you're somebody who just wants to join it so that you could hear when I'm giving out a trade, please do not join. We do not welcome that behavior. That is not what I want. You'll annoy me. You'll annoy the other members. So if you're looking to join Trading Wolves, you're trying to actually become part of a community that's going to learn something and actually work together. Not just people asking, well, do I go long now? Do I go short now? No, that's not how this works, okay? So I know people like just want to pay money to be told the answers, but that's not how reality works. And anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to scam you, okay? So I'm just being real. I'm being 100% transparent. This goes for everything I do, by the way. I am not telling anyone the truth. I'm telling you my truth. And if you vibe with that and you're on that same frequency, beautiful. Let's make money together. But when you're just coming here to essentially follow, you're not going to be able to develop something that will be with you forever. You're essentially going to be reliant. And I don't want people to be reliant on me. I want people to become self-sufficient and empowered and be able to do this on their own. That's what will make me ultimately the most happy. Okay? So I just want to, preface this because I know a lot of people think that by joining Trading Wolves, they're just going to be hitting home runs off the bat. But that's not how this works. You're going to have to put in a lot of hard work, just like I had to put in a lot of hard work, just like the people who will be moderating Trading Wolves have put in the hard work. Trading is not easy. That's why 95% of people lose money in it. Okay? The reason I was able to be one of that 5%, or better yet, one of the 1 or 2%, was because I was spending 16 to 18 hours every day on the charts. I was putting my phone on airplane mode. I wasn't talking to people. I was mastering my craft. I wasn't relying on anyone. I was doing the work. And that's the kind of person that I want in Trading Wolves. I want people that are as hungry as I am, because I wasn't looking for call-outs. I was trying to learn this on my own so that I could take personal responsibility for my wins and my losses. And a lot of people, when they join these Telegram groups or whatever that regards to trading, they're essentially caught up in this endless whirlpool of, oh, the guy who's leading it was right, or they were wrong. And when they're wrong, now you lose money. And that's a very parasitic behavior that I do not want in this community. It's part of the rules to take personal responsibility for everything you do. So I just want to lay that out there because, we're starting off tomorrow. I know I've said a lot of this already, but I just really, really, really want to make sure that we have the right mindset in this group, because it all comes back on me at the end of the day. And I'm just trying to protect myself, protect my energy, and ultimately protect the members in the community that are mature, that are trying to develop a lifelong skill, that are here for the right reasons. So just to recap, new advanced trading courses available now. You could get a $50 discount if you purchased my Mastermind course in the past, or if you are planning to upgrade to Trading Wolves Patreon membership tomorrow. And in regards to getting my advanced trading course, all you have to do is shoot me a message on Patreon, or you can email me, and I will be sending you a discount link. All you have to do is let me know the payment method and the name that you used to purchase my Mastermind course in the past, or the Patreon membership upgrade if you decide to do that tomorrow. So Trading Wolves Patreon upgrade goes live on November 1st. The upgrade option will be available tomorrow with limited spots. And that's why it currently says sold out, because when it goes live, I'm going to monitor the amount of people who join for probably the first 24 hours just to feel out the vibe. I don't know if I want it to be completely, as big as something like the Mastermind community, because again, I'm trying to protect the community, trying to keep it on track. And, a lot of people are interested in trading this market because they're having issues with their job or, what's going on in this crazy world. So I want people to be able to join. I want people to be able to be part of this, journey with us in the Trading Wolves. But I also don't want it to get off the rails. So I don't want to monitor, I don't want to only have like 100 people in it. That's not what I'm saying. It's not going to be that exclusive. I just want to make sure that, we cap it off at a certain point just out of fairness. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll see how the first month goes, and then I'll probably take it from there. So I also have a sneak peek video that I did for the Trading Wolves, so you could go ahead and watch that. But one final thing is just this Trading Wolves membership is $88.88 a month. You can see that right here. And it goes over all of the description of what's included. So you could go ahead and you could read that. Another thing is this does not include access to the advanced trading course. I have a lot of people that sign up to this Mastermind community and they're asking me about does it include the Mastermind course, or if they buy the Mastermind course, they're asking me if it includes the Mastermind community. No. Patreon memberships are separate, and the Patreon perks and features are completely different. There's totally different things going on. My Mastermind course is already extremely cheap. So the Mastermind community being what it is, it's already like extremely affordable. So I'm just letting everyone know, by joining either of these, I offer people discounts on my courses already. So if you're joining Trading Wolves and you do not have the advanced trading course, it does not give you access to the advanced trading course. What it does is it'll give you a bigger discount. If it would give you a discount of $50, just like if you purchased the Mastermind community. So I just wanted to clear that up. And you could see in the disclaimers, this Trading Wolves membership is not for trading advice or trading signals. Please read the disclaimers before you sign up. Okay, so yep, and here's my website. It's pretty simple. I didn't really go too crazy with it. I wanted to keep it nice and beautiful and a little bit trippy. And the advanced trading course is hosted through my website. Another little update for those of you out there. I will be putting my Mastermind course on this website probably before the end of next month. So it'll take me a couple weeks, but I will be transferring all of that to this website. So that way my website is very comprehensive. My email will run through this website. Both of my courses will run through this website. The Patreon link and my merch will all be running through this website. So that'll be very important because it will allow everyone to have more trust in this in the event that anyone else is copying my work as things are growing. So it's a safe, secure website. You could pay it with more than just PayPal now. You could see there's Visa, MasterCard, Discover. There's a bunch more options for purchasing my products. So that's also a lot better for people who live around the world and have been, struggling to be able to purchase my stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to make this part of the Red Pill episode because I believed it answers a lot of questions, and I know we're transitioning into the November 1st date tomorrow, so hopefully this gets all the questions answered, and let's move into the analysis, shall we? So let me drink some water real quick. Wild weekend in crypto. Whew, it's hard to even know where to begin. So let's just look at this Bitcoin weekly chart. I don't want to look at the drawings too much. I just kind of want to take it for what it is here with our moving averages. And you could see that we are far extended above our moving averages. This 8 simple is probably going to move up into the 54 region tomorrow. And I was pretty adamant letting people know that I do not think for the rest of this bull run we'll be back testing even the 8 simple moving average. So we're probably not even going to retest this. We're just going to continue to keep this gap open until the end of the run. So this weekly close is definitely looking weak, but it's happened before where we see 2 weekly closures look bearish, like here, and then we see continuation, or right here where we saw 2 big candle body closes red with continuation. So this move right here is very similar to what we're getting right now. We're essentially just seeing that Bitcoin is pumping to a new level, building a little bit of strength. In this case, we are building strength above the prior closing resistance. You can't get much more bullish than that. So if you see right here, around 60K was the closure resistance in the prior fractal around April. Then lately, we've actually been closing highs. We closed the highest, we closed on all-time highs back on October 11th, technically, because the candle body closure was the highest. Then we had another weekly closure at highs, and then this will be the potential third. So even though we're seeing red candles in this weird, like, doji right now, it's irrelevant to me. I could really care less. Even from a technical perspective, I have zero to worry about. Okay, so this 5-day candle closes tomorrow. Okay, so here we are. We could see that this 3-day chart definitely looking pretty interesting. We've yet to backtest the 21. The 21 on the next closure is probably going to rise up into the 50s. At this point, I'm really not feeling like below 55 is going to happen. I just have to be honest. This is looking extremely bullish and strong. Okay, so you can see on the 2-day, we actually did what we did in the past 2 bull runs, which we come down to the 13 exponential on the 2-day, bounce, and then, yep, pretty much the same exact thing. And we got the closure, the following 2-day close above the 8 simple. We could see the 8 simple is starting to slope down. And as it slopes down, that's something to consider. But for the most part, the rest of our exponentials are looking to be sloped to the upside. And this 200 exponential moving average is above the 200 simple moving average. These are very tight together, and it's looking pretty good. Let's go to the daily chart. So the daily chart, we had that bullish cross down here where the 200 exponential got above the 200 simple. So that's really nice to see. And also we saw a back test of the 21, which essentially had multiple closures above it. And we've maintained closures above it. But here, when we look at this chart, we are starting to identify a downtrend. Okay, so definitely highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, and another lower high, followed by what looks to be a daily close that could be below the 13. We have to see how today goes because remember, it's Sunday. We have our weekly close, and on top of the weekly close, we have the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, opening up later today. Like I say in all my Red Pill episodes, we can see volatility around like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, Eastern Standard Time is what runs the market. Period. End of story. New York and Washington, D.C., that's what runs the global market. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is 24/7. That's why whenever you're seeing ritual price action, it's always coming up in the Eastern time zone as very ritual. So, yeah, definitely a downtrend because we're also seeing low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low on multiple daily candles. And we're even seeing closing lows. So that's something to consider. But look at where we're back testing. We're just back testing the prior resistance, which is flipping it as support. This wick that came down here essentially just back tested prior resistance, so that you can't get much more bullish than that is what I'm trying to say. Now, if we're going to get lows, we're probably just going to revisit this same wick down here. This is kind of like a crystal ball wick, and it aligns with this 34 exponential moving average on the daily. So, I mean, that would be a gift. And if that was to happen, we would see a short-term W in play. So right here, we have our first V. Down here, we have our second V. And also, it would be a potential back test of the top of the golden pocket in line with that 34 and a V shape, a W pattern with a neckline sitting around 63K, which is essentially within the prior highs to break structure, meaning that if this does create a W, a second V, we end breaking out of this top of the bull flag again, because I guess you could consider this as a bull flag. Point being, this W pattern would probably be a strong breakout because on back tests of the neck around 63K plus new highs right there, essentially you're looking to move to $80,000 probably pretty fast. So just something to keep in mind from structure. And then, of course, we have the bull flag scenario. So we have here the flag pole. It's looking a little awkward, but if I go, I'll show you on another chart really quickly, another way to interpret this. So this looks way cleaner. Okay, so sometimes you have to adjust these things, and that, again, anyone who's in my advanced trading course, that's why I don't like patterns, okay? Because patterns are like, you can just sit around and keep changing them all day. So for me, it's always so much more important to focus on the exponential moving averages, the Fibonacci's, RSI, MACD, and then start to consider Gematria Numerology, and then you could see a lot more of your answers. But the problem with drawing all these trend lines is you're just drawing a fucking bunch of lines on your chart. It doesn't really do anything, okay? So from this posture right here on the last low open, the last low candle open before continuation, we're seeing up to the closures on highs and then half staff. I'll put it right here. Again, it would just also be the same as measuring off this wick right here, but let's just say for conservative measures, we're going to put it at the top of the golden pocket, and it's putting us somewhere around 82K, which is within the 1618 fib. Like I said, I think this is pretty much going to move to the 80s fast. Maybe a little bit of resistance around 72, but the 72 number, again, getting that in Gematria. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. Gematria gives us the 21 in Chaldean. Anyways, sorry. So Bitcoin gives us the 72, right? So 72,000, I think that'll hit on a specific day, but I don't really even think there's going to be much resistance there. It's just going to hit that target on a maybe the 7th of November, like the 11/7. That'd be really hilarious. I'm not saying that will happen. I wouldn't be surprised. From a technical perspective, though, I think this bull flag is going to play out, moving us to the 82,000 up to the 1618 sometime in like maybe before the full moon of November. Oh shit. Also, now that I'm thinking about this, because I saw I had Serpent up before, I was trying to look into this more. You guys are lucky, man, because I almost forgot about this shit. So people keep bothering me about like decoding this, and I'm not gonna decode it, but like I saw some cool shit. So anyways, you have the white rabbit right here. Okay, let's just have fun. Okay, the white rabbit gives us the 33, guys, in Chaldean, but look at what else it gives us. It gives us the 117, the 72. Okay, so that we're getting that in Bitcoin, the 72 117, right? White rabbit, and what is the white rabbit holding, right? He's holding the stopwatch. Okay, and what is this cane? That cane is actually a sickle. Okay, this is all about symbology, right? We went over this in my last YouTube video. We have the serpent down here, and look at this, what she's doing with her arm. Okay, this is as above, so below. Okay, as above, so below. But the way her hand is shaped right here is very, very like, this is like some Dragon Ball Z shit. She's doing some magic over here. But anyways, then we got this cat up here. Symbology, right? We have the serpent and we have the mushroom. Okay, and that's what that whole tree of knowledge shit is about anyways, right? The fruit from the tree of knowledge is the mushroom. That's what unlocks the pineal. That's what sends you into that other state of consciousness, right? So I love how she's green, the serpent is green next to her, and then this guy has the red tie. It's just so amazing. Like, I'm not trying to say that this is the truth. I'm just looking at it from that perspective, okay? That's what this is all about. And this green and red color coordination that we're getting is something that's very popular with Christmas, right? And Christmas was traditionally like all things go. It was basically like a lawless 3 to 4 day time period where people just, it was like the purge, okay? So for those of you that aren't aware of that, Christmas is a fucking scam. Look at it. His name is Santa Claus. Satan. Right? It's pretty obvious, but anywho, I'm really mostly interested in him holding the clock because that's all about timing. And then here we have the sickle, then we have the serpent and the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And then we have this rabbit hole, and this rabbit hole, let's just type in the most obvious part of this, which is down the rabbit hole, right? Okay. And what are we getting? The 181, huh? The 40 fucking second prime number. Right back to Saturn, guys. 42, okay? And in reverse is 24. We have 24 hours in the day, right? I'm not going to, I don't even want to talk about this publicly. I just want to keep this here because I think this is a little bit, but down the rabbit hole, right? Satoshi Nakamoto 181, dude. Like, this is a fucking joke, dude. It's a joke. The Economist cover is showing you so much stuff, but it's just amazing how obvious this all is. And now this is where it gets even better. I don't know who's down here, but I think that's Cardano already in the rabbit hole. And we see ETH is like jumping into the hole. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's dancing. It's just chilling over there. And where is it chilling? Next to that secret door. Okay. And then here we have the dollar is dancing. And we could see this is like the increase in stocks. I don't know what's going on over here, but right all the way in the back is the Greek Colosseum, the Greco-Roman Colosseum. That's the symbol of courts. Okay. So it's showing you what's going on here. The tokenization of our world is in process. That's going down the rabbit hole, right? But who's dancing? Bitcoin and the dollar. Okay? People need to wake up, man. This shit is this is the collateral layer of our economy. Bitcoin and the dollar are the collateral layer of our economy. Bitcoin's market cap has surpassed JP Morgan. Okay? You don't get there by being a scam. If you study the wallet holders of Bitcoin, it's not chump change. It's mostly people at the highest levels. Billionaires, trillionaires, okay? It's not like Shiba Inu where it's a bunch of degens. It's big money in this project. So it's funny how they're showing you right here. They're dancing, bro. The dollar. Remember, Bitcoin's probably going to lose 60% of its value. The dollar's going to moonshot in 2022. Anyone who says to you otherwise has never studied Shemitah or recessions. Recessions are deflationary. The dollar's going to get strength, buying power. You know what's going to lose power? This thing, Ethereum, and that thing, Cardano. They're going to lose 95% of their value, perhaps. Even with ETH being a potential, the tokenization of the stock market. But it's just amazing how they're showing you what's going on here. So I'm really interested in this cover. I could definitely do more of a decode. I don't really care too much though, because I already knew a lot of this stuff. It's just it's kind of funny that a bunch of people bothered me about it, and I eventually said, fuck it, let me just look into it. Okay, down the rabbit hole, 181 42nd prime connects to Satoshi Nakamoto. This is showing you that Bitcoin is the collateral layer of the future of our economy. Period. End of story. I don't want to hear it about H bar, fucking XRP. This is it, guys. Like, this is the fucking truth. It's Bitcoin, right? And that's not me being a Bitcoin maxi. We have the proof on the blockchain. I mean, if you want to talk about performance, it's Bitcoin. If you want to talk about the weak hands, there's the least amount of weak hands of Bitcoin. When we had this bigger correction back in April, it was a 56% correction for Bitcoin, okay? We could look at all the other coins and see how that shaked out. Let's have fun. Let's just look at let's look at Engine. Because that's one of the coins we're going over today. Oh, 80% losses. Okay. Let's look at Polkadot. 80% losses. Let's look at Shiba Inu. 87%, 85% losses. Let's look at Mana, another one that we're going to go over today. We're looking at about 77% losses. You see the difference here? So when we're in these speculative plays, we need to be more cautious with our entries in comparison to Bitcoin. And you've also heard me say many times that I am not currently buying any Bitcoin. So this isn't like an advertisement. I'm not getting like payouts from Satoshi Nakamoto and the CIA. I'm just letting you know, when you're a data analyst, when you're looking at this market for what it is, you're not going to be looking at it based on these crazy ROI projects if the project is already showing that it's high. You want to buy low when there's opportunities. And the beautiful thing about Bitcoin is it's scarce, and on top of the scarce like quality of it, it has the proof to back it up that it's always been a winner. And all the other projects have been very big losers during a bear market. So what I want to protect people from as we move into this bear market, just with some words of wisdom for anyone who was in the 2017 run and, lived through 2018, what I'm saying is facts, okay? How many of these projects that got invented in 2016, 2017 went away forever in 2018? Okay, think about all this DeFi shit that's come out, the NFTs, like all this extremely speculative stuff that has hit this market, okay? And it's going to go away forever. Some of it will be around, like Polkadot will make it, probably Chainlink will make it. But I'm just saying, How many cryptos do we have right now in this market? Let's just quickly check in with that. Okay, there's, oh my God, that's insane. 13,337. By the way, I was born at 1:37 p.m. So I was born at 1337, which that is the 33rd. That's the 33rd prime number. Anyways, pretty crazy, right? Anywho, this is pretty interesting how this is all working out. Oh, also Bitcoin dominance at 44%, turning into the 44th week of the year. It's all by the numbers, guys. It's right in front of you. So there's 13,300 cryptos. A lot of that's gonzo in 2022 when Shemitah really comes with its sickle. When Saturn or the Grim Reaper shows up, a lot of this is going away. Okay? If you lived through 2018, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to prepare people, because back when ETH went from $7 to $1,400, people thought it was the greatest shit on earth. And then it lost 90% of its value. Okay? So it only benefits people when you're in a good position or when you know how to get out of it. And that's what a lot of people struggle with most, right? Is how to get into a project and how to exit a project. So if we went from top down, let's show you with like literally, boom, right there at the lows, 94% and a double bottom at pandemic. 94%. XRP did the same thing. It lost 94%. It lost 95% of it. I think it actually lost 96% of its value from the top. Okay. So there's no flip switch. There's none of that stuff. It just is what it is. This market runs on an algorithm, and that's why it's bringing these prices down the way that it did. Go study the tech bubble, the .com bubble, and you'll see the same shit happen to Amazon. It's not isolated. And that's not me saying that things like ETH and XRP aren't extremely exciting for me in the long term. I'm never going to sell all my XRP or all my ETH, but I don't need to also because I was buying when it was undervalued. I wasn't waiting for these projects to go up. And if you're brand new to crypto, you should be very grateful that you're in a space where we're essentially talking like this with you right off the bat. You know, getting you prepared for a bear market, because a lot of people are just getting into crypto now because it's exciting. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. ETH hit a new all-time high. You're seeing all these shit coins do so well. So it's bringing in a lot of new people, right? Price is what brings in belief, and belief is what makes people literally part of a fucking cult. Okay? Don't believe in anything. When you start to study what's truthfully going on here, you no longer need the belief. You just either know or you don't know, right? It's almost that simple. I was listening to Alan Watts recently, and he said something, very similar to that, and it was interesting confirmation, but that's just a side note. So when we see things like ETH potentially hit $1,400, I don't think it's going to lose 95% of its value, but I could see it losing 85%. And then we're going right back down to 2K. So we're going right back down to probably the 236 on the current fractal. Okay? That's probably what's going to happen. Just want to let everyone know. And why is that not weird? Well, look at this. Let's go back to the prior run. Let's pull some fibs. Oh, damn. Yeah, this even made a lower low after that. So that's very dramatic. But if you were to pull from here, the highs down to this wick low, you can see it actually broke structure. So it made a dead cat bounce. But you see where it wanted to hold support for that flat time. After it was in a downtrend, it held support right there. Let's show you where the support was. The 236 fib. So I believe that ETH and XRP and all these bigger important cryptos they're not going to pull back 95%, but they're probably going to still lose over 80%. And that's, at the end of the day, what's the difference, right? It's substantial losses. Just something to prepare everyone for, because I know people don't want to hear this stuff, but everyone's spending so much time thinking about price levels to the upside, and I'm actually thinking about the bear market. Because the bear market is where there's the most opportunity. It's a perspective, right? And we needed to hear this. I believe a lot of people needed to hear this, especially with these random projects just doing so well. Someone even said that they were disappointed in how I lacked bullishness in a project. And I thought that was interesting, because it's So you want me to fucking lie to you so you can feel better about it, about making a crazy, irrational high price level? Like, is that what you want? You want me to lie? I could tell everyone, this shit's going to Bitcoin's going to $400,000. Sure, I could do that, right? But is that really what you want? No, you want the truth. And how do I provide people the truth? I show you the TA and the Gematria. That's the proof, right? And perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe Bitcoin really does go to 400K. And you know what that means? We're making more money. So it's all about how you, like, where are you at emotionally in this game? Where are you at with that? Have you checked in with that? Because when people want higher price targets than the stuff that I've shown on my decodes, which, by the way, all the decodes that I did for HBAR, VeChain, Hedera, etc., I compared it with market cap. I compared it with upside fib levels above the 4236. I didn't just pull numbers out of my ass. I actually showed people with the code, which I've proven in the past as well, how it works. So those decodes could be very helpful for people to see where the price targets are on the coins that you're holding. Because not only are you using the code, but you're able to combine it with TA. And then on top of that, go back and look at the market cap that I considered. Because when people talk about a 1 cent Shiba, they're not considering market cap. That would make Shiba like 5x higher than Bitcoin's market cap. Like, how are people falling for that, dude? That's crazy. Maybe in the year 2030, sure. But then Bitcoin will be triple the market cap of Shiba by then. So it's all about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the energy of this market. It's the sun, okay? And Satoshi Nakamoto is Saturn, Father Time, the ruler of this market, right? So that's why it all just has to go along with the flow of Bitcoin, because it was programmed that way from day one through the algorithm. Everything else that's been added is just riding in the coattails. So it's not me saying that you can't make a lot of money off of Shiba or anything like that. I'm just letting you know how this market actually operates. So today actually is the 13th year anniversary since the Bitcoin white paper, the Satoshi white paper, went live. This is a little fun fact I brought up in my last video, but just a quick reminder of that. So we're getting a little bearish price action. That's beautiful, actually. It was really nice to see this, especially on things like Theta that were extremely overheated yesterday. I think I saw Theta up 22%, and I was like, that shit's coming down. Like, this is so ritual, guys. I could prove it. I'll keep proving it, okay? Theta. Let's just have fun real quick. Okay, Theta, crazy move on the 30th, all right? Let me show you why. And it's undeniable. Theta gives us the 81, right? Let's go to tools. Yesterday's date numerology. 81. 45. 54. As above, so below. Okay? Just accept it for what it is, guys. What does Theta token have? 42 in it. That's a very important thing. That's why I fuck with this crypto. That's why I pay attention to it. I bought it when it was boring, and every time it became undervalued in my analysis. I'm not worried about it mooning for a single day. I don't care, because 52 is in there, and that's telling me that's the transition into the new year, right? Think about that. And it also has the 9/11 in reverse. That is powerful, okay? So that would be the 9th day of November. This is how we use the code, guys. It also gives us the 19, right? Which comes back to Ra. Ra is the solar deity, okay? And this is all making sense because Theta with the 81, 18, this is all connecting back to Venus, okay? In all of the numbers. But this 81, 18 is very important because they're mirroring each other, okay? 81, 18, 54. 54, 18, 81, and even has the 27 as well. This is the token of Venus, right? The morning star, Eosphorus. But with that 19 in Chaldean, that's giving us a very important connection. This is coming back to Ra. And Ra is the devil. Ra is the, Logan might have helped some people through this. It is, and we're the little devils, right? The worshippers of Ra. So this is beautiful. I love seeing these big volatile moments on theta because this is shaking out leverage traders, and it's also on this pullback. It's giving us opportunities. But I don't want to talk too much about theta. I went over this in my last episode. I'm bullish. I'm bullish because I see the code, and I proved it to you. Yesterday was the 81, and we saw for most of the day an 18% gain on the coin. Right? Like, how fucking beautiful is that? We even saw the price target of $8.10 for a lot of the time as well. So it was all fulfilled in that single day by the code. So where were we? We were on Bitcoin analysis, yeah. So the daily looking solid. I do want to consider potential pullback targets of 50. Let's just go through this actually with TA so that you guys can get all the numbers and all the important information. Let's hide that. Okay, so we're about to see a wolf cross with a bearish posture coming in very soon on the 4-hour candles. 4-hour candles are showing some weakness. We are also getting a potential inverse head and shoulders on this, so we'd have left shoulder, head, right shoulder, but I don't know if that's something I want to consider at this time. I do remember that back here we had the head and shoulders, and we've yet to actually fulfill that measured move, which came in somewhere around 56. And we can see that the 200 moving averages on the 4-hour, the 200 exponential, 200 simple are essentially right there in that range between 56 and 57. And on these subsequent 4-hour candles, these are going to rise. And I believe that 200 exponential is going to get within these bottom wicks that we saw prior around the 27th to the 28th of October. This would be a perfect bounce area, right? But now a wick down slightly lower into this 786 would also be beautiful because that would confirm that this is ready to move. Back tests of the golden pocket after you've entered price discovery is an extremely bullish thing. Unlike what's happened with XDC, which broke out into price discovery and then started trading below the golden pocket, that is bad. That shows you weak hands, okay? So any of you who are learning fibs, go check out the XDC chart. I mean, you can't really play those coins easily. You really need to know TA to be able to, or you need to wait excessive amounts of time. But if somebody's trying to get into XDC today, gross looking chart. So what I'm seeing in this, I'm not really considering these trend lines at all. I'm more focused on this 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart's been working out really nicely. We have our low, higher, low, higher, low, and then we could see subsequent lower lows. We've yet to backtest the 200 exponential on the 4-hour or the 786 fib. That's what I would really like to see to feel ultimately bullish. And if we go off the current all-time high down to the swing low, we could see that it's 13%. And that was what happened in the last bull run too. It pulled back 13%. So this is also making me feel like we might not go much lower than that, maybe 13.9% and then hit the 57.5 and just repeat it exactly how we did the last run. That would be really normal. But I don't really care too much about those sorts of measurements. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the opportunity for Bitcoin was back here. So, we're just kind of like figuring out, with Bitcoin being the major energy right now, if Bitcoin's going to have that pullback down to these 200s, it's most likely going to drag down some of the altcoins. But let's check in with ETH so that we could see what's going on there, because ETH has been extremely strong. So our downside targets would be the prior lows sitting around 48, basically 58,000, Then from the technical level on the pullback, we'd be seeing the 786, which is around the 200 simple and 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart. Okay. Lower than that would be, honestly, lower than that would probably be something to consider back where our previous targets were, so like 55, 56, but I don't see it going lower than the 702 fib at this time. So I do not see Bitcoin trading lower than the 702 fib, which is around 54K. If it was to do that, that would be an additional move somewhere around 8% to the downside on what I just explained, and that could definitely pull back things like XRP down to $1 again, etc. And also, just a quick note, remember in my last YouTube video, I was telling everyone to not expect huge moves to the downside for XRP now. And that's exactly what's happening. And the reason I was saying that, people were getting confused because they were like, well, if Bitcoin pulls back, didn't you say all the altcoins? No, that's not what I said. Okay. XRP is suppressed. So that means it has less likelihood to create new lower lows or to get dragged down with Bitcoin. It will correct slightly. But what happens is, XRP is at a stage right now where it is just stable. It will be stable, most likely moving into like late November. So as we transition through 11/11, the 11th day of November, into the 12th day of November, that's when I see XRP breaking out of its stability to the upside, getting towards $1.40 again, right around that time. And by Hanukkah, late November, I see XRP approaching prior yearly highs. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I did mention to not anticipate huge moves for XRP to the downside, even if Bitcoin pulls back. That's exactly what we're seeing today. Just stable. So upside target for Bitcoin would obviously be the prior all-time high, which was back in April, which is sitting around 54. And then breaking that would be the current all-time high, and then essentially price discovery into 70K fast, upwards of 80K. I'm anticipating six figures by the end of November. Let's move on to Ethereum. Okay, so this trend line was kind of important. I'm going to remove it. I do think that it held support. This was a shakeout, and then right there it got rejected off of it. So the only thing I could say though is we are holding daily closes above the 8 simple moving average, which you can't say anything bad about. And then we have our 55 simple down here at around 3,500. I went over this already in my prior last YouTube video, and then this cross has yet to come in where the simple or the exponential 200 gets above the simple 200. That would be very nice to see, but it's yet to happen. So just some things to consider. We see ETH, when it wants to roll over, it rolls over. Okay. The same thing as when it wants to move, it moves because it's very volatile. Okay. So if this wants to shake us out to the downside, I would be anticipating 3,900 because that would be the prior wicks right here. And it would also be the prior resistance here and here. That is why it has been hard to break lower than 3,900. Okay. Bitcoin already broke highs and entered price discovery. ETH broke new all-time high barely and immediately got rejected multiple times, okay? And it almost looked double toppy back here. So just consider that, it's not as bullish as the breakout of Cardano that we saw months ago. Cardano just smashed through its all-time high and moved up almost to the 1618 fib, right? So this is kind of just, it was to trap in bulls. That's how they do it. I've heard a lot of the bigger YouTubers back in the day say, show me a new high and I'll show you a buy. Don't listen to those guys. Because I've seen in crypto so many times where we go up to the 1618, which would be right here, like 6K. And then we fall right back down to retest the golden pocket. I'm not saying that ETH will do this, but I've seen coins do that many times. So why would you ever buy a brand new all-time high? Like, isn't it investing 101 to buy low? Just crazy, man. Like how misguided people get by these. Anyways, no negativity. This is something to consider because if we're continuing to hold the 21 exponential moving average, that's extremely bullish, guys. You can see it's continually back testing it right here. It's the orange moving average. If we continue to hold that, it's just looking so good. And is it really a big difference between like 4K and 3,600? Not really. I think the opportunity here is still there. A lot of people have said like not to get into ETH, but I actually will probably be scooping up some ETH on any pullback. Definitely if it gets back to the golden pocket area, because for me, there's no difference between the 786 and the 702 fib. It's just all opportunity. So that's my take on this. I'm extremely bullish on ETH, and I've already given, upside price targets of $14,000 to $15,000 onwards of 19K. Downside target all around this area, essentially from 3,900. If that fails, probably move down to this 55 simple and see how it reacts with any daily closes below the 21 exponential moving average on the daily. Again, on the upside, pretty much once you break 44,500, I'm anticipating price discovery because we got rejected on the double top and then we got price discovery for a hot minute. But this was all about shaking out leverage, this downside pull. So now, once the stock market opens tomorrow in CME, we really have to see how this plays out because I think the institutions are going to want to bring this back one more time. Yeah, like they always do. So XRP. Holding structure, bounce basically off the 200 exponential like we spoke about in the last video. We could see the 382 is holding beautifully. It is holding structure. It keeps doing these big liquidity injections to the upside with big rejections. You could see all these big wicks. It looks like a shit coin, essentially. And that's not me being disrespectful. This is weakness. This is whales loading in long orders and then putting sell walls and rinse repeating on people, getting people to think that we're going to break out. That's not how this works. This coin is typically stable until we move into the November timeframe. So these are opportunities, of course. There's really no difference for $1.14 and $1.06. There is no difference if this coin could potentially go to $14 to $15, right? So for those people out there that are trying to get greedy on like a sub-dollar XRP, it's possible. Of course, anything's possible in this matrix, but I wouldn't get too caught up on like that, you know? Essentially, if Bitcoin makes a bigger pullback, we'll see XRP slightly pull back. That's about all, though. I think it's going to hold structure, meaning I think it's going to have the next low is most likely going to be only $1, and that will just show you a beautiful structure. Perhaps it'll be on a trend line. Again, not really too care. I don't really care. But if we were to get it by like the second or something, it would just put us like 97, 98 cents. And anyone who saw this pullback right here, wow, like that was like 5 minutes long. When it came down below $1, it was like 5 minutes. I remember watching it. I was like, whoa. It was really fast. The flash between there and there. Very coordinated to shake out and liquidate long positions. So the upside is still the same, guys. A 0.5 fib. Until we could break that, we're pretty much sideways as ever. Very low volume, very low volatility. It's just shaking people out right now. That's the goal of this coin, to get as many people shaken out so they don't know what's to come, which is a big straight line breakout. Probably move from $1 to $15 like in a 16 days or something ridiculous like that. Not to get people too excited, but that's just the way I see this going. Okay, so let's move on to XLM. Can we stop with this coin, guys? Like, let's stop it. I think this is it for me on this one. Too many people want to keep seeing this coin, and I just do not care. I've spoken about it so many times. People keep voting on it, though. It's going to do well when XRP does well, but I rather bet on XRP than XLM at this stage in the bull run. Now, if we were in a bear market, I would probably go 50-50. I'd go like 50% XLM, 50% XRP with whatever allocation I plan to give the X coin. I mean, maybe even XDC, depending on how big it pulls back. I think XDC is going to lose like 97% of its value in 2022. I told everyone I'm short in ISO 20022. That's the biggest PSYOP of all time. And I can't believe people fall for that shit. But anywho, I think this is the most disgusting looking chart I've ever seen. Like, what is this thing? What is this thing? Right? We have to accept it. Anyone who knows TA, if you don't know TA and you have an emotional response to what I'm saying right now, you need to work on that. Okay? Because this thing is not looking good to me. Okay? There's very, very pumpy dumpy, and it's also trading below the around the 200s, the 200 moving averages. Weird. So yeah, I don't really have too much nice to say about this. This was a selling climax, automatic rally, supply tests. And this does look like it's forming an inverse head and shoulders, which of course is bullish, but we're at a stage in the bull run where all the altcoins are going to do well. So there's no like real, people are just ROI hunting right now. That's essentially what people are trying to do with this final moment of a bull run. And ROI hunting is very, very, unsafe, because it doesn't matter how much ROI a token has. It matters how you take action when that ROI is coming to fruition for you. Are you going to sell it, or are you going to keep holding it until it does this magic whatever, So this an inverse head and shoulders still sitting us around 54.55, which is below the golden pocket. That's not good. There's really just, it's a bad chart. I really just have to be honest. I don't care about this coin. I am not going to invest in it. If I had the extra money, I would park it somewhere like VeChain or Vitho. Yeah. Too many people speculate on this coin because of the XRP army, and that's pretty that's unfortunate. And I've done an XLMD code, and I see its purpose, and I could see the esoteric side of it. But I think that there's more. There's another way of utilizing Gematria Numerology where we can see more power in other things, you know. And the bigger reason why I'm going with V chain is because it comes back to Venus. And Venus being the morning star, being the light bearer, that has a lot of power. And let's compare the price action of VeChain. Anyways, I'm not trying to go there. I'm just saying that I rather bet on that token. That's all I'll say. I'm not planning on diversifying anymore into this, into these X projects because they're very weird. But if I traded this thing, I probably could have made a lot of money because it created the pattern. And once you see the pattern, look at how repetitive that pattern was. That's why XRP is so easy for me, because I identified a pattern and then I learned the Gematria applications to that coin. And when you combine those two things together with knowing how to read a chart, you can trade a coin to financial freedom. You don't need to worry about its performance or how good looking its chart is. That's what is superior about being a trader. Again, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it. And you start to see that you could set yourself free from this game of hodling. And the hodl mindset works really well if you know how to time this market. But if you don't, and you're impatient and emotional, you're not going to be able to navigate a coin like this. It's way too dramatic. Just going up, 200%, then losing an additional 50% of its value. Going up additional 200%, then losing again another 45% of its value. Up again 250%, then losing an additional 42% of its value. You see this? Once you identify the pattern, guys, you can trade the pattern. Up 100%, down an additional 42%. That's a shit chart. Okay, this is like a lie detector test. Let's see, 100% gains and then an additional drop of 74%. 100%, that's an additional drop after that of about 38%. Once you identify a pattern, you could trade the pattern, and that's what's really beautiful about a coin like this if you're playing it like that. But if you're not playing it like that, it's a shit coin, and you're not going to be able to hodl it comfortably because it's just making these moves. And I mean, honestly, off the range back in January, it retested the same exact price levels. That's not good. That's really not a good thing, guys. It even made lower lows than the January pullback. So yeah, I mean, from a technical perspective, I think this thing's going to do okay. It's probably just going to make it to the 4236 like most things do, which again, this would be 27. So anywhere between $2.40 and $2.70 will make a lot of sense to me, because 240 comes back to the Jupiter and also Saturn, and the 27 also comes back to Jupiter as well. So I did a little bit of a decode on this coin already. And you could play around with these numbers however you want. I mean, I just think that this is really one of those coins that you might have to pay a little bit more attention to. Definitely, that's interesting that we're getting the 81, and that doesn't surprise me because lumens are luminaries. That comes back to the light, and the light is Venus and Ra, the sun, and that 45. It's 47 is the 15th prime number. That's the connection back to XRP. Everyone, okay. So have fun with it. I'm not. I'm not. Maybe I'll trade this in the next bear market, though. So let's move on to Engine. I probably hurt a lot of feelings on that one, and that's good. That's a good thing. People need to have that shattered, because that's what the red pill is. That's what sets you free. Okay, Engine, fantastic. Had a huge breakout and then a huge weak hand diarrhea. 31% down in a single day. Okay, fantastic. A little bit more structure going on here than the XLM chart, of course. This does look like a clear Wyckoff where we have selling climax followed by supply tests, kind of a later automatic rally, another final secondary test, and then somewhat of a attempt of an SOS. We'll call this an SOS or a sign of strength, and the backup phase is everything now. So anything after today is a backup phase, and back testing the automatic rally is extremely bullish, guys. So if Engine Engine is going to pull back and hold the 225 level. That's beautiful because it's essentially backtesting the automatic rally, which confirms a sign of strength. So something like this, like moving down into the 8 simple moving average, and then you could also see the 13 exponential moving averages around there too, and then followed by a bounce. This is the backup phase right there. That's such a great time, to make entries, because it's the final pullback before a parabola, before just a straight line breakout, kind of like this. That was a backup phase. Okay, I'll show you in log scale. So here you have your structure. Yuck. I'll start right here. So you have your highs, you have your attempt of what looks like a selling climax, supply tests all around here. Then this was a spring. This was a final back test. This liquidity wick is nonsense. And right here was our SOS, followed by sign of strength, SOS, sign of strength, SOS, into what's considered a buying climax. Then this again was a secondary test on highs. That's a trap, okay? Or the last opportunity to get out before a bigger correction. And then we could see the correction off of this was somewhere around 80%. Good God. Okay. But from right now, it does look really good because we can see the exponential moving averages are in bullish posture, the 8 above the 13, 21, 34. We could even see that the 55 simple crossed above the 200 simple. Now it's all about this 200 exponential getting above that 200 that 200 simple, and that would really solidify this for me. So this was a ritual, guys. Engine. Let's just quickly. Boop-a-doo. Is it called Engine Coin? Yes. Coin. I love that. By the way, the coin, if you want a little red pill, oh, of course it has a 33. Of course. Okay, so look at this. Coin is pretty beautiful, the symbology here. We have the O and the I for Isis and Osiris, right? It always comes back to them. That's coin. The C and the N are trapping in Osiris and Isis, and that's why coins are made of metals, right? They're mining the earth. They're mining Gaia for her metal, for her frequency. Mining is bad, by the way. Metals mining. It destroys our earth. And mining minerals also. What I'm talking about is crystals. Stealing crystals from the ground has fucked up our food supply. And our species has been doing that for a long time for our materialism problems that we got from the fallen angels. Remember, they came down here and they taught us how to put makeup on women, breastplate and swords to kill each other, and how to mine our earth of its natural resources. People think that having, GMO spray on your food and having chemtrails in the sky is bad, but the earth used to have crystals sticking out of the ground, okay? We stole that from Mother Nature. We robbed her. And then we turned that into currency. And then we have the audacity to call gold God's money. Think for a moment. You think God wanted money? You stole Mother Nature, and then you ruled her. And then at the same time, you want to take from her and then turn that into money and call that God's money? Think for a moment. On the 6 days of creation, God made this earth, right? And then rested on the 7th day. Whether you're religious or not, it's hilarious, the Christians and the people out there that have the audacity to say such a thing. So anyways, it's a fascinating thing, the O and the I together, Osiris and Isis. Engine coin, obviously, New World Order with the 33. Beautiful. And that 51 and the 15, that's coming back to the moon. Yeah, it's also holding that 2-4 level. 24 is a very powerful number, as we know. Let's see the all-time high. I'm sure that was ritual too. Yep, $4.02. 42. Yeah, this is great. I wouldn't touch this coin if I wasn't in it. But yeah, because the ROI is not going to be as good as obviously getting back at these lows. And if we were to pull fibs, you're definitely going to have some issues. Yeah, it swiped through the golden pocket, got rejected before the 888 fib, and then now it's trading below the golden pocket. This is a shit coin, okay? Like this price action is way too much for me to feel confident. But that 0.5 fib would be the textbook backtest area. And then if it really wanted to drain, it would get to that 192 around the 382. And we're looking at upside targets of somewhere around the $14 level, which would be a fucking really nice run. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, $15 maybe. That'd be a nice move. That'd be like what XRP is essentially doing, but XRP would have a little bit more ROI just because of the price it's currently trading at. So the $2 entry essentially still puts you in a better position with XRP. I'm not saying that people should get XRP over this coin, of course. I'm just, letting you know based off the fibs that is probably the level it's going to go to between the 4236 and the 618, and then we're getting that 15 in engine coin. It's possible. It's not going to go to 33. That's fucking ridiculous. Its market cap would be too extreme. So disregard that on the upside. And then engine giving us that 17. I mean, that's possible. It's possible. It's a big move though. Okay. 17. Yeah, it's possible. I'll call it 17. It's probably going to 17. That's a nice move, even after this fake out, because that fake out has given you the opportunity to get in potentially at basically between $2 and $2.30 with a potential move of up to $16, $17. So let's move on to Polkadot. Okay, Polkadot's really strong. Okay, pulling fibs from all-time high down to all-time low. We're seeing this is like a very good cross, right? We talked about it with Bitcoin. It's incoming for Ethereum. We see the 200 simple above the 200 exponential. We can see the 55 simple moving averages getting to the golden pocket. And all of this trading is happening between the 888 fib and the 786, which is showing strength, okay? This is very strong. Basically, it's holding and trading at the ranges of the prior highs, and it's not dumping. So again, I would be looking for this 38 level because that would be the 702, which is in line with the 34 exponential moving average. This is like very similar to Bitcoin, actually, like a very similar TA. And this run up was already ridiculous. Like, so the fact that it did this run and then held strength for so long, of course, this was a major pullback, but the recovery was gorgeous. Okay. Beautiful recovery, and it looks like a parallel channel if you wanted to draw one of those. All the EMAs are looking amazing right now. Yeah, there's not really much to say. This is looking really good. I would just look for this 38 level. If I was to get a pullback, I wouldn't get much greedier than the 618, so I wouldn't look for below 35. I wouldn't buy this right now just because it's a little up, and upside levels, yeah, we're probably looking for the 181. That'd be amazing, right? Because that comes back to the 42nd prime. It would probably be, well, of course, 42 and 15, that big connection to the moon. And Polkadot. Ooh, it's giving us the 36, guys. You want to know why that's so important? Because that comes back to Ethereum, okay? And we've heard this before, like DOT being the ETH killer, the DOT ecosystem, kind of like replacing, the ERC20. But that's interesting, right? That 36 connection, I've yet to decode this. It's really awesome to see that. And then the 122 is powerful. 1 times 22 gives us the 22. And anytime you see a 1 in front of a master number, that's basically magnifying it and making it more powerful. So when you see like the 177, that's 77 with even more power on top of it. Okay. Ooh, the 133 and the 51. That 51's powerful. And the 56 coming back to Society of Jesus. It's a big connection, of course, too. 43 being the 14th prime. So it has that 14 and 15 connection. Again, that does tie back to XRP. And XRP is a very powerful player in this game, guys. It's super powerful. Don't get that twisted, okay? Please remember what I just said. It's very powerful. 28 being the 7th triangular number. I could have so much fun with these numbers, but anyways, yeah, 181. That'd be a really amazing price target. That'd be like Bitcoin hitting 144,000. This coin's already had a run though. So from that 4, I remember it was trading around 4 because that was when I bought it. Yeah, we're looking at 4,000%. So that's not major. I know that it opened up much lower than that, of course, but that's what all coins do. They hit an exchange and they're at ridiculous highs. So yeah, I'm interested in this play. I've already de-risked my position on this twice though, so I don't even have any new money I've put in this coin. I've just sold my initial somewhere around this level, and then I remember buying back in around this wolf cross down here when I saw it. Yeah, it is what it is. Not really planning on putting anything into this because I'm more focused on coins that are suppressed, and this one's already looking like it's a V-shaped recovery. Looking very strong. Okay, let's move on to Band Protocol. Just one of those coins that I do own. I don't have a lot of. Very, very bad. Very bad. I remember when this coin did okay, so this is another example of a shit chart, right? This is horrible. This big straight line breakout, huge dump, another breakdown, and then this crown top, distributional top. Not good. So our buying climax was there. We had a couple supply tests there, selling climax, automatic rally, and now we're sort of in that supply test range. So if it can't hold this uptrend that we're seeing right here, then that is something to consider for further downside, probably as low as $6 or $7. This coin is not looking good, which is an opportunity, I guess, if that's how you want to look at it. I'd rather just go with I'd rather just not get involved in this. I already invested in this a while ago. I'd probably be looking for a W breakout at this time, like on a macro time frame, like a 3-day. Where we're about to create the second V right here into the 200s, somewhere around 750 and 650. And then a continuation from there off of the neckline, which would be the 382, and we have our W, okay? Or not the neckline, I'm sorry. This would be the neckline, and then we would break above that, and then any new highs above prior highs in structure would send it. That's what you'd want to be looking for continuation, most likely in the structure. It is holding the 236 though, so that's not terrible. There are some coins that are actually trading below the 236. They're even more suppressed. So, yeah. But I do not have too many things to say about that besides this looks very similar to a lot of the charts that we've discussed in prior episodes, actually. A lot of these very exuberant moves that chop around and through the month of April, bigger pullback, and then structure forming, essentially just structure forming, multiple higher lows. On the upside, though, this coin's already made a pretty crazy move, so maybe $88 on the upside would be pretty sensible. 88, it might not hit 3 digits. Chainlink, I believe, will hit 3 digits. This is an Oracle protocol. I rather focus more on Chainlink personally, but Chainlink has more structure, more chart history, performance, a little bit more reliable in that regard. Wow, basic attention tokens getting wrecked. Why did you guys see how many coins did this yesterday? This huge pump and dump shit? Because it was the 81 date numerology, and it's the way that I add up the dates, by the way, which isn't very popular, but it's been a unique form of numerology that I've been sharing with the world. And yeah, I mean, this connection here, it was the 33rd date too. So remember, I was warning people about this. Excuse me. I was telling people to pay attention to the 30th because it was the 303 day of the year. And that in rules of numerology is the 33. Okay, so this makes so much sense, right? We got that 33, which is all about illumination. And then we had that 81, which is tying back to Venus, which is all about the light bearer. Okay, and 81 in reverse, that 18, that's a very important number in Judaism. So go study that. It's just funny how all these coins were doing this. So let's move on now to XVG. Okay, this is still an opportunity. Let's see. This looks like this was a crazy blow off top, but it had structure at least. Right? It had structure, but it fell off a cliff. So let's see what's going on here with the fibs. Super suppressed below the both 200s, and both 200s are in bearish posture. This looks bad, but bad during a bull run could be a good thing. Yeah, this isn't good. I actually held off from purchasing this coin just because I couldn't get it easily, and I thought to myself, like, I don't want to diversify. Like, here's some words of wisdom. Diversification is essentially just putting money into a bunch of losers because you don't believe in your winners, right? It's kind of like not necessarily verbatim of what the teachings of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, but I'll reiterate that in my personal perspective. When you're at this stage of the bull run, where we're pretty much near the end, diversifying is essentially betting on losers during the most risky time to bet on losers. Now, we know crypto it could do very well, but I just want people to be a little bit more cautious. If you have 15 different positions, just because this is suppressed does not mean that you should enter that position. What you should do is make your current position stronger. And this isn't me calling Verge a loser. I'm just teaching people the mindset right now. We are at the end of a bull run. This is where people just FOMO'd into Shiba at like the fucking top, okay? This is how it works. It's manipulating people because a single day a coin goes up 30% and then people jump in. They're emotionally reacting to a market rather than being a sophisticated investor. Okay? So if you don't have this project and you already have like so many positions in the market, don't just jump into it because in one of the red pill episodes I got excited about it. Okay? Like that's not good. And people need to remember that, what I just said. Because sometimes I'll just get excited about something because of the code. It doesn't mean I'm invested in it. I love learning about the code, and I love seeing how this code connects to everything. I think that has always been something that I've been really fascinated about since learning Gematria. But anyways, this isn't looking that great. Yeah, it's really losing its volatility. Perhaps this is one of those coins that just starts to move at the very, very end, kind of like when XRP decides to move. And that wouldn't surprise me just because it does have an X in the name. And those X coins seem to do well, but XRP seems to do the best at the end of the run, whilst these other X coins did really well earlier in the run. You know, XRP couldn't pull this shit off. If it did, oh my goodness, you know, there wouldn't need to be an XRP army cult anymore because it would have performance for once. So anyways, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this besides some technicals, which would be this 200 simple moving average is looking like a resistance. The 236 could also be a resistance, and these wicks up here around 3.6, so like around 3 cents. Breaking and having daily closures above this level right here is pretty much going to move you up to the golden pocket fast. And because this coin has proved itself in the past, that wouldn't be weird if it steps up each fib level after breaking out. So something like this. And then gets like, it'll basically look a very similar formation to the way that it did here nearest the end of the year. Something to take into consideration, this is pretty down from prior all-time highs, which could be why people wanted an update. It's around 72% down from the current high, and if we're looking at it from a gains perspective, that's about 260% towards returning to the all-time high. So this is not a bad thing to put in your venture capital bag, you know, to have a little like 2% position in this, because at least returning back to prior all-time highs, you're doubling you're making about 250%. And the odds of this entering price discovery are very high because we're at the end of a bull run, and alt season typically does that. This is pretty suppressed though. Or not suppressed. This is very bearish looking at this time for getting to levels that are the 3618 or higher. So I would be a little more careful on that. Use your Gematria to figure out some of the price levels, compare it to market cap. It's your little update on this coin. It's not looking too good. Also on the downside, if it really wants to drain out, I would suspect the 0.182 cent would be sensible. And see right here. This trend line could also be the thing. I don't want to put too much weight on that, but it's basically at a buying level right now. It's not, I don't think I could go much lower than that. It's looking bad. Okay, let's move on to final thoughts on Shiba Inu and Mana. Okay. So what Shiba did was very normal, right? It broke above this 1618 and got rejected off of the 2618, okay? I made a call out on Shiba probably somewhere about back here. That ended up being good because I decided to not talk about it moving forward. Just gave it a good little. I told everyone, hey, I do have a little bit of this, and it's done really damn good. But has it done that good? Because I told everyone this could probably go up to the 4236, so it still has room. It's yet to, and if it decides to go higher than this, it's probably just because everything else is doing really well. So this is a very weird bull run where we've actually seen a shitty season before the alt season. And we're seeing Bitcoin kind of stabilize at these higher levels without being the first big mover up to new highs. This is an interesting bull run. And why is it so interesting? Well, it's because there's so many more cryptos right now than there used to be. Okay? Now there's so many more cryptos. And there's so much more influence in social media. So from a technical perspective, this didn't do anything spectacular at all. It just went through the levels, traded at the golden pocket, and then once it broke with a daily close above the 888 fib, it moved. Like, isn't this the stuff I teach you guys? I teach you this all the time. Rejection at the 888, back test of the 618, getting out of the golden pocket with daily closes, followed by a daily close above the 888. Price discovery. Once you break through that 1618, you're moving to the 2618. Rejections followed by pullback. Where do we bounce off this pullback? On the 8 simple moving average. It's the stuff I teach people, okay? So if it's going to pull back any more, the obvious level to backtest would be the 1618 because we actually haven't even backtested that. This thing just went up in a straight line, and it's not looking weak by any means, but it's just kind of doing what coins do. This is crypto. This is what it does, okay? What it did back here at the initial stages, oh my God, billionaires could be made off this thing. But if you're not in it, I really want you to stay away, sure, you could, this isn't financial advice, but this is the shit that keeps happening to people where all people in the community wanted to talk about on this day was Shiba. Like, why are we talking about it though? Like, unless it's a short opportunity, like what are we really talking about? Okay. And that segues into mana. So I'm not going to do a full blown TA on this because I gave the downside and upside levels. What is this thing? Like, it went straight to barely the 3618. So it hasn't even gotten to the 4236 yet. Okay. That's my level that I tell everyone to look out for. We got rejected off the 3618 and now look at how this is going. Okay. We're down 40% off those highs on a single candle. Okay. Is this an opportunity, guys? Is this something we should be talking about? Seriously. Like, the amount of chat that I saw yesterday in the community about this was like really, I was just like, come on, man. I thought like we were better than this. Like, it was disappointing me. Straight line breakouts are cute if you have it, and you're willing to get out of it. But like, let's grow up, let's move on from stuff like this. I gave the analysis of 4236 on this coin. Okay. We're not there yet. Do we have an opportunity to build some strength at the 1618 and then get back up there? Yes, of course we do. Of course we do. Of course we do. Don't get lost in the sauce, guys. Be wolves. Don't be bulls or bears. Let them play their game. We play this game, which is following the moon, paying attention to the esoteric code, and doing TA. That's how you win. Not by talking about a coin that's up fucking 100% in a single day. Because what happens is it gets people in the community going, oh, should I get in? Should I get in? Should I get in? And then they fucking buy here. And then their overall ROI might only be this, 50%. When they could have been paying attention to shit that's down at these levels before it does this. Because right now on Verge, you're basically getting that opportunity right now before that. So that's the thing. Let's change our conversations in the community when we're talking in the crypto chat especially, and be helpful to each other. So if we start to see things pumping like this, do the TA, share your charts, share where you think it's going to start to reach resistance, and have some backup proof for that. And add disclaimers, because just getting excited about something that's going up when we're in a community of 2 to 3, 3,000 people eventually, it's not conducive to the environment. Keep that stuff and shill your meme, because that's really all it is. Now, if you were in this project and you got out, I am so happy for you. Like, I'm literally ecstatic for you. I'm really stoked. And I'm not telling anyone to sell this thing, okay? It still probably has more juice, up to the 4618, maybe even the 5 spot fib extension. Do your gematria on this coin and figure it out, right? What is mana? You guys know, if you got to my community because you're conscious, you know what mana is, all right? It's Oramus. It's monoatomic gold. Okay? It's important. It's biblical, right? But let's be calm about it. Let's be calm about it. That's what I want about this community. I want the calmness that I deliver to also be matched by the members, because then we are a unit. Then we will change the world, okay? And I want you guys to have as much, of a role in that I do. So I appreciate all of you guys. I hope that the philosophy that we went over today in this episode will cement a lot of the behavior moving forward. I believe that we have so much potential as a community. We already have so many badasses in our community with incredible chart skills, very, very knowledgeable astrologers out there, decoders in our community. Let's support them. Let's continue or learn from them. That's really what this needs to be about. With that, we can grow and become the strongest crypto and conscious community that exists. And that's my mission statement. That is really my mission statement, to make a family, to make something that's massive, something that really brings change to this world. So when there's darkness, we are the light. Help me with that, please. We're getting towards the end of a bull run. This is going to be so dramatic on a lot of the social media channels. We need to be prepared for that. So let's practice fasting. Let's practice meditation if needed. Practice pranayama. Go outside in Mother Nature. Look at the sun. Enjoy your life. Don't let these emotions get the best of you at the time where they shouldn't be. Save your emotions for your real life, not the charts. I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their day in the Matrix. Sending you all love and high vibrations. Much love.